Hello and welcome everyone to my channel Keep Learning Initiative. My name is Ayushma and today we are going to have a look at life-changing maxims, idioms, sayings and proverbs. And if you also want to change your life with these, then let's begin. Alright, so the first one is दूसरे की थाली में घी हमेशा ज़्यादा लगता है. And in English, we say it as the grass is always greener on the other side. It means that when someone is not satisfied with their own lot in life and always assumes that there are better things in other places, the idiom encapsulates the human quality of always wanting something different than what you have. But we should always be contented with what we have, right? Alright, so now let's move on to the next one. And that is Gade murde mat ukhado. In English, we say it as let the sleeping dogs lie. We use it when somebody is reminiscing the events that occurred in past and which are not good and makes us remorse. Alright, so now let's have a look at the third one. And that is Ghar ka bhedi langa dhai. And in English we say it as a small leak will sink a great ship. A very good example of this is of Mir Jafar from the Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar was a friend to Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dawla. When the Britishers arrived at Bengal, Mir Jafar merged with them and the mighty army of Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated just because of a betrayer or a small leak which sank their great ship. Alright, so now let's move on to the fourth one. Ek to karela, दूजा नीम चढ़ा. In English we say it as a pimple upon an ulcer. When something is already going ghastly and it becomes more worse, then we can use it. For instance, let's say that you have got hurt or you have got a cut on your hand. And this is a situation or state which is ghastly. And this is not the end of story. What's more worse is that you are always bumping into others or others bumping into you unintentionally at the same place where you are hurt. And you also crush your hand into the wall. That, my friend, is the worst thing that could ever happen, or I must say occur. And here you can use it, a pimple upon an ulcer. Alright, so now let's move on to the fifth one. गेहूं के साथ घुन भी पिसता है. In English, we say it as when the bull fights, it is the grass that gets trampled. Let's say that there is a group of notorious children playing, and there was a child named David who is naive and was standing with him. He did not do anything, but those notorious children broke the glass of the classroom, except David. And when the mentor came, she punished all of them, including David, who was naive, who did not do anything, but the only reason was that he was standing with them. And here you can use when the bull fights, it is the grass that gets trampled. Alright, so now let's have a look at the sixth one. And the sixth one is खरबूजे को देखकर खरबूजा भी रंग बदलता है. In English we say it as society molds person. Let's say that there is a group of divas in a college, and for having themselves accepted in that group, everyone behaves in the identical manner and also dress up in identical manner for their acceptance in the group. And this situation tells us that society molds person. Alright, so now let's move on to the seventh one. And that is Ek chup sa sukh. And in English we say it as it is a wise head that makes the still tongue. If there is a conflict going on and if you intervene in that conflict, you will become a part of that controversy. Sometimes ghastly things are also said, and we do not stop arguing. So, if we want to stay jovial and not to be caught up in a controversy, then we need to make our tongue still, and this situation would be like ek chup sasuk, or it is a wise head that makes the still tongue. Alright, so now let's have a look at the 8th one. भगवान के घर में देर है अंधेर नहीं. In English we say it as God's milk grinds slowly but surely. There is a friend of mine who always achieves gold medal in Olympiad, but this year he did not achieve any medal, neither gold, neither silver, nor bronze. He got disappointed, cringed, gloomy, but to cheer him up, I said, "Hey, do not be gloomy. You can achieve it next year. And remember, God's milk grinds slowly but surely," which would make him feel that I did not receive the medal this year, but God's milk is making up something slowly and surely. That would make me receive medal next year. Alright? So let's move on to the 9th one, which is Andhon mein Kala Raja. In English, we say it as figure among cyphers. Let's have a look at an example. There is a village, and in that village, everyone is illiterate. But there is a person who is 10th pass, and that person would be considered brilliant. And this situation is like figure among cyphers. Alright? So now let's move on to the 10th one, which is ईश्वर की माया कहीं धूप कहीं छाया. In English, we say it as ups and downs are part and parcel of life. Sometimes it happens with most of the people that they get fired from their job, and this demotivates them, and they initialize to think that God has not done anything for them. But that is not the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is that He is creating opportunities for us. And then the ball is in our court to accept it or reject it. You can also use when one door closes, another door opens, which is a motivational advice. And ups and downs are part and parcel of life. Alright? So now let's move on to the 11th one, which is ulta chor kotwal ko daate. In English, we say it as the pot calls the kettle black. If you caught Peter red-handed while doing something wrong, and in spite of saying sorry, he starts accusing you, then the situation is similar to the pot calls the kettle black. Alright, now let's move on to the 12th one, which is दूसरों के काम में टांग अड़ाना. In English, we can say it as to put a spoke in another's wheel. A person who always intervenes in another person's work or matter. Then this proverb can be used, and there is always going to be a person in your office who might have that person's personality of intervening in your matters. Alright, so now let's move on to the 13th one, which is Chor Chor Mausere Bhai. And in English, we can say it as birds of feather flock together. People having a same or an identical kind of thinking would always love to spend time together and live together, and this is a situation likewise two birds of feather flock together. Alright, now let's have a look at the 14th one, which is ताली दो हाथ से बजती है. In English, we can say it as it takes two to tango. This saying is used in negative terms. For instance, let's say that there are two brothers who had started quarreling. They kept on fighting until their mother arrived. When the mother asks him that who started all this quarreling, and both of them started to accuse each other to stop this heated conflict, their mother told them that it takes two to tango. If one of you had not spoken further, this would have not happened. So this is how you are going to use this one. So now let's have a look at the 15th one, which is आसमान से गिरे खजूर में अटके. In English, we can say it as out of the frying pan and into the fire. This maxim is a funny one. When we escape out of one problem, barely before it gets finished, another problem arises, and there we use this maxim. Alright, so now let's have a look at the 16th one, which is दूध का जला छाछ को भी फूंक फूंक कर पीता है. In English, we say it as burnt child dreads fire. Everyone avoids repeating a hurting experience again in life. When you are once beaten by someone or something, you always avoid getting intact with that thing again. A person becomes more cautious when he or she gets hurt with something and secure him for the next time. And here we can use this proverb. So this was all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and please do like, share and subscribe. I'll be coming back with more new videos. Till then, keep smiling and keep learning. And hasta la vida.